That's now.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Rory O'Malley, and I'm moderating today an interview with
I'm Josh Gad.
Josh Gad.
This is my book.
Noel.
And Rory's my friend.
Yes.
And I told him that he had to be here to ask me questions.
True.
Because I don't have many friends who would say yes.
I'm the only one who would agree to it.
Even my parents turned down this opportunity,
Yes.
mainly because they don't know how to use technology.
Yeah, that's very true. But I'm very excited to be here.
Now, are you reading that or do you mean it?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I just want you to know that you can go to PictureFaceLizzyBook.com to get 15% off autograph editions today only with code FACE15.
This is happening live, guys. I'm gonna not even pretend to sign books. I'm gonna really sign books as we're doing this.
Yes, it's happening. The books that you're going to be getting are being signed right now.
I just did this. This wasn't
wasn't
preset.
And that's the best he can do. I just want everyone to know.
No, I never.
It doesn't get any better than
Here,
him.
just keep these.
Okay, we'll pile them all. These are the done pile over by me.
Good.
So PictureFace Lizzy book is fantastic. I have a 5-year-old son, and I'm so proud of you for writing this book. You have 2 wonderful girls. I am really, really proud of so many things that you've done, but this is really special, and it's a really big deal because it's going to speak to a lot of kids. A lot of kids are going to love this book for a long time.
I hope so. I mean, it felt like Book of Mormon was sort of like the thing I thought that kids would really respond to, and it turned out that maybe it wasn't as appropriate as a
kid's book for children. As much as you thought it would be.
As much as I thought it would be, and that was on me. I was mistaken. So I decided to write this, PictureFace Lizzy, because I have 2 girls. And basically what happened was, and you're going to hit this phase soon with your 5-year-old, is as a parent, you get to a certain point sometimes, and your kids look at you and they say, hey, all of my friends have TikTok. All of my friends have Snapchat. All of my friends have the latest iPhone. Why can't I have it?
Right.
And I was bombarded with these questions. And in my house, we really try to not keep the technology away from the kids so much as make sure that they have a healthy relationship and that they get it at the right time, right? I think that there's an age at which you can understand emotionally how to navigate some of these spaces better than others. And for me, it was like one of those things where I wanted to write a book from their perspective. I wanted to write a book that starts a conversation between parents and their kids. And so as a stand-in for all of those things that I mentioned, I created this idea of a PictureFace Lizzy. It's a mix between an American Girl doll, social media, and TikTok all rolled into one. And the main character, Eve Tanya, basically goes to her parents one day and she says, all my friends have PictureFace Lizzys. Why can't I? I feel left out. And finally they say, okay, baby, we'll get you one, but we don't want you to lose that thing that is the most powerful computer you have, which is your brain, which is the power of imagination, the power of imaginative play. And so Eve gets this, and at first she's consumed by PictureFace Lizzy. It's all she wants to play with. It's all she wants to talk about. It's all she and her friends can kind of wrap their heads around. Slowly but surely, she starts to miss those things that she used to do.
Right.
The things that she used to do, the pretend, the play that she used to do. And so it's about striking that balance. It's not about, no, you cannot have this thing, but you can have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
And what's the healthy balance of those 2 things?
Right. And the right time to have it in a kid's life.
Correct.
You could see like she had such a rich world of things to do and play. But if she had had that.
I just signed another one. That's my signature.
All right. That's two
That's
so far.
three
Three down.
I mean,
all right. I'm going to ask you some fan questions.
Oh, okay. Fan. I love fans and I love questions.
Yes. So Adam from Ohio.
Hi, Adam.
Go Buckeyes. What movies most inspired you or kept you hopeful during challenging times in your life?
Go Buckeyes. Are you really a Buckeye? Name me the Buckeyes.
I'm from Ohio. Let's move on.
Okay. Name me the amount of wins that they've had so far this season.
7.
There's been 3 games. All right.
They're so good.
Okay. The movies that have inspired me, Rory. Wizard of Oz. That was one of the first movies that sparked my imagination. Anything directed or produced by Steven Spielberg, like those movies, those Amblin films in particular, were like kind of the driving force of my young life. Back to the Future, the Indiana Jones films, E.T., Close Encounters, Indiana Jones. I think I said that already.
Should we maybe just say anything made in the 80s?
You could say that. That's fair.
Looking at a Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters
display that you have.
all of it.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Valeria from Germany.
Ooh, nice name.
Beautiful. Hi, what do you love most about Frozen and the role you play in it?
Danke, Valeria, for the question. That's my horrible attempt at German. I think Danke is thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the question again?
What do you love most about Frozen and the role you play in it?
It's hyper aggressive about it.
Well, I mean, it's not like this is
all right, Valeria. I'm sorry. I love everything about Olaf. He is the embodiment of innocence and naivete and childlike wonderment. And in a world that can oftentimes be kind of cynical, I love that I get to bring the embodiment of innocence to life. And he doesn't have a filter, which I also absolutely love, because as Rory knows, I also don't have a filter.
I don't know.
Be in the moment, Rory. Why can't you ask me these questions from the heart rather than your phone?
Well, they're from all over the world. From your fans, Josh.
I bet you wrote them all.
Right. Megan from California.
Hi, Megan. Oh, people are writing on the side of
Oh,
look at that.
Hey, everyone.
Rory and I can't see right now because we're in our 40s and our
we
eyes
can't. It's too far
terrible.
away from us. You are very talented, Megan from California
Thank you.
You're a very talented individual who has put their stamp on many different industries.
You hear that, Rory?
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about me.
I enjoy all of your work from the Book of Mormon and Frozen and everything you put your heart into. I want to know if you enjoy all of these hobbies equally, or if there is a specific type of artistic expression you look forward to returning to or exploring for the first time in the future, i.e. returning to Broadway, writing books, acting, voice acting, etc. What a question.
That is a question. That's a many-layered question.
Mm-hmm.
But as read by Rory, it neutered the passion with which you wrote that question. But I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability.
I'm doing my best.
So I mean, I think we both share this. The stage is where right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's where I feel most alive. It's also the hardest. It's the most tiring. It's it's truly something that takes the most out of you. 8 shows a week, there's nothing like that. Staying well enough to do a Broadway show is one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And yet that relationship that you strike between your performance and the audience, and that communal experience that on any given night is its own thing, nothing replaces that. I love it all. I love writing. This is becoming a new passion for me. I have so enjoyed writing my first children's book. Actually, I just finished a big boy book that's coming out in January called "In Gad We Trust." It's for big boys and girls. But the thrill of writing is kind of my new favorite thing. So everything that I do, I enjoy. Each has its own benefits, and I'm just honored. I think we're honored that we get to play for a living, get paid for it, get to live and pretend, and hopefully deliver messages like this that can have an effect on people.
All right. Good answer.
Thank you, Rory.
Marilyn from California asks,
yes,
what was your favorite part of Book of Mormon to perform?
Ooh, I mean, because Rory's next to me and he played Elder McKinley opposite me, I would say any scene that was not with him. Do you know, should we tell them what happened when the first time we were given the choreography for Turn It Off?
Yeah, in rehearsals.
Yeah. So Casey Nicola, our director choreographer, said, I would like for you and Andrew to be up there, and the lights are gonna go out. You're gonna surprise everybody with your vest. You're gonna do a tap dance. He gave me about 30 minutes before he realized that there was no universe in which that was gonna not ruin the entire show by having me.
He really didn't give you a lot of time, but it was just very
No, but
clear.
he knew.
It
I
was
think we
very
both
clear.
knew. I think we both looked into each other's souls and we realized
this isn't happening.
This is not going to happen. So it was always my favorite to just literally sit on a couch and watch all of them on a night-to-night basis have an anxiety attack if the vests were going to work or not.
Well, he just clapped and laughed.
Yes.
Literally. That was fun for you, huh?
That was my favorite part of the show.
Okay. Gareth from the UK asks, how has becoming a summer-loving snowman changed your life? How did Olaf becoming Olaf?
Are you learning how to read right now?
I am.
Do you need?
I have almost gotten to the reading level of this book.
How has become for summer snow you love? I would say, I mean, much to my answer earlier about, my favorite part about being Olaf in Frozen, it's changed my life in so many ways. I spoke about this recently, but I said one of my regrets is lending Olaf my voice and not giving him a different voice. Like, hey, I'm Olaf. Like warm hugs. Or, hey, I'm Olaf. That would have worked, right? Yeah, I like warm hugs. That would have made it actually terrifying. But by doing my own voice, I now have no anonymity when I open my mouth in front of a child and they're terrified.
This is literally Frank from Illinois' question. Have you ever been recognized by a child without them looking at you and just them overhearing you talk with somebody?
Every day. It literally, you've witnessed it.
Many times.
It is so confounding to children when they just see this and they're like, why have you stolen a snowman's voice? And I have no good answer for
But
that.
it's also a testament to how absolutely brilliant you are in that movie, that it is ingrained in child's memory so well that they can pick it up right away, because that's hard to do.
Thank you.
That's hard to do.
You don't think they would have responded as well if we had done the, hey, Elsa?
They would have responded, but it would have been running away. I don't think you'd be on you're talking about your third Frozen film if that was. That's true. All right, Annabelle from Florida asks, hi.
Florida, I'm from Florida.
I am 11 and dream of being on Broadway.
I love it.
What did you want to be when you grew up and you were my age?
Same. I dreamt of wanting to be on Broadway. I think I was 11 years old when I went to Broadway for the first time, and I saw Fiddler on the Roof at the Gershwin Theater. It was my first Broadway show. There was an actor named Topol who had done the movie and was now playing the role on Broadway, and I got to see him. And it changed my life. It sort of set the trajectory of what I knew I wanted to do and be. And never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that dream would have come true. But Annabelle, when you start dreaming young, anything can happen. So my advice to you would be keep practicing, keep perfecting, and make that dream come true for yourself. Okay, sweetie?
Well, you answered the last question. Jordan from Texas, how did you get your start on Broadway and in movies? Do you have any tips for aspiring actors? But that's pretty much it. But do you have any tips for older actors? Maybe Jordan from Texas is not 11.
You don't know that. Jordan from Texas.
I don't know.
Might be.
I'm just saying, let's give advice for maybe an older crowd. Definitely keep going for your dreams, but
yeah, I mean, it's sort of the inverse of that, which is once you've started going for your dreams, don't easily give up. A great story that I share very often is we both graduated, Rory and I, from Carnegie Mellon Drama in 2003. How old were we when we
Don't
graduated?
talk about our age right now.
How old were we?
22. Everyone's 22.
Is that the way math works?
Yes.
So we were 22, says Rory. And about 3 years in, I wasn't really getting the kinds of jobs and opportunities I had thought I would. And so I was on the precipice of going to law school. I was going to take the LSAT, and I called my mother to tell her that I was going to give it up and do this instead. And my mom started crying. Susan started crying, and she said, I'm disappointed in you, which I couldn't believe. I'm like, I'm going to law school. Why wouldn't my mother be thrilled? And she said, I'm disappointed in you because you've spent 15 years dreaming and only 3 years trying to live out that dream. And I think that's, I think you're better than that. And a couple of weeks later, I think, I went in for an audition for a show called Spelling Bee, which was both our Broadway debuts, and we both got it. Like, we both went from having nothing to being on Broadway. And that's when you really persevere and you really never let no stop you, then, the sky can be the limit.
Excellent answer. Excellent.
How do we deal with all of these things that we can't see?
I'm going to have you submit answers via email.
What? It's a lot of work.
I have so many questions that have already been submitted. So
this is great advice. I so hope this is a weekly occurrence. It won't be. Rory and I are too tired to do this on a constant basis. Yo, Josh Gad, meet us at Virginia. Okay. Is that like a threat?
Okay, I got a whole bunch of more questions for
great.
you. Okay,
but
while we're stopped here, I want to remind everyone to go to PictureFaceLizzy.
Oh, that's the point of this, guys. I'm here to sell books.
Yes,
I forgot.
So PictureFaceLizzyBook.com to get 15% off autographed editions today only with code FACE15.
I feel like we're on, what is it called when you're
Home shopping
network?
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, I can't.
And for a limited time only, right?
Buy now.
Get one free.
Okay. All right. This is.
You do not, by the way, you do not get one free if you buy my book.
No.
You have to buy each edition.
You get 15% off.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's a great deal.
15% off autographed editions.
Why is nobody buying right now? Guys, click the thing. I'm going to start buying. 15% off. I've been paying full price for these.
Yeah, well, it's really 15% off because once you sign it, it's worth less money.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Fan favorite segment. 22 questions. Okay.
Oh, God.
22 questions in 2 minutes.
All right, let's do it. Okay.
1. Where were you born?
South Florida. Hollywood, Florida.
2. Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Rory O'Malley.
3.
Or Tom Cruise.
3. What was your first job?
I worked in advertising for 2 weeks before I was fired.
4. What chore do you hate doing?
Oh, God, I hate hand washing dishes. I'm fine drying. I'm fine putting them in the dishwasher. Man, I hate hand washing.
5. What is your biggest fear?
I'm afraid of death, which is why I'm an active hypochondriac.
Big time. 6. Who makes you laugh the most?
Oh, wow. My daughters, Ava and Izzy. And that's, by the way, genuinely, they're really funny. They genuinely surprise me with how funny they
are. 7. What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
Lots of food.
8. What is your favorite school subject?
English literature, history. I mean, tie. It's a tie.
9. Who is the most interesting person you met recently?
Oh, wow. George R.R. Martin. I just did a live talk back with him for PictureFace Lizzy, and he's just endlessly fascinating. He's the Tolkien of our generation. 10.
What is your middle name?
Elon.
11. What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve is... this is a good one. Being interrupted while I'm talking during a question and answer session online.
May I go now? Okay. 12. What is your favorite hobby?
This is so stressful.
It is.
My favorite hobby. I love to read to my kids. I love reading Harry Potter in particular. My girls were on the 6th book. I also love to write, as you can see.
13. What is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure, hanging out with Rory.
What's so wrong about that? 14. Do you have any hidden talents? Hidden.
Yes, I can do this, which is useless.
Awesome.
It's really like, it's a cool thing with little kids.
It's not hidden to me. I
It
hear
makes
you do
them.
it all the
It makes
time.
them cry though.
15. What color is your toothbrush?
My toothbrush is. I mean, it's white. What color are other people's? Who does color toothbrushes? What are we, babies?
White. So boring.
It's like one of those mechanical.
Oh, it's fancy. 16. What is your pet's name?
Dee Dee. That was an easy one.
17. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word. Oh man, it's got to be safe for book readers.
This is not the big boy book.
Okay, I love the word euphoria. I think that is a great word, even though it's been taken by a not safe for work HBO show. But yeah, euphoria.
18. What is the last album you bought or streamed?
Chapel Rowan.
Yes. 19. What is the last gift you gave?
I got Jimmy a gift.
My
We
son.
got Rory's son a gift.
Some
Today.
golf club pens because he
They're
loves
really
golf.
cool. He loves golf.
20. What cause is dear to your heart?
Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. I've spent time there. I've worked with kids there, and it's an incredible facility that does amazing work.
All right. 21. What is your greatest achievement?
I think my greatest achievement is my daughters. I mean, honestly, like, again, I know cliche, but like, I'm never going to top that. They're much better than I'm ever going to be.
But also, like, getting your wife to marry you.
That was a huge one.
Wow.
I definitely bat above average.
And basically the fact that it's every day she chooses.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy being married to Josh Gad.
No. 22. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
Ooh, dying to go to India, dying to go to Japan. Both of those places I really want to get to.
That you did that really well.
But I feel like we were like 5 minutes.
That's okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it's totally fine. I mean, I'm sure everyone else who did this.
Do they buy less books if I don't make the time?
They start banning books.
Wait, they ban the books?
This is
wow.
No.
I mean, that feels like a really
wrong.
big consequence.
Yes. Okay. So before we go, I want to talk a little bit more about why you wrote this book, your writing process, and like, obviously, because I know your girls, reading this book means something different to me, but it's so you, it's so your girls. What was your process like, and how did you decide to write it?
Well, so this whole thing came about because Jennifer Klonsky, the brilliant editor over at Penguin Random House, reached out and said, I think you'd be a great children's writer. During the pandemic, some of you may remember, I would, especially during the early days, I would go on, Instagram Live.
Oh, I thought you meant some of them might remember the pandemic.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe some of them have
God bless
willfully put it aside. But I would go on like Twitter Live,
right,
Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and I would read to kids, and I would read some of my favorite children's books. And I fell in love with the genre. I fell in love with the style. And Jen Klonsky invited me to write my own. And I wrote a couple of different things. And to her credit, she kept pushing back and being like, these are all hilarious. These are all great. But none of them feels personal. Can you write something personal? And this was 2022. I'd gotten COVID. And my wife banished me to the guest house for a week. And I lost my mind. And 2 months later, I somehow got COVID again. And at that point, I said to her, I am checking into a luxury resort, and I'm writing this out there. And I'm in this beautiful room. And I was like, you know what? I really should come up with a way to make this a write-off. And I sat down, and within 1 hour, I wrote PictureFace Lizzy. At the time, it was about TikTok. I sent this book to the editor, and she goes, this is brilliant. Can you change TikTok for both creative and maybe legal reasons to your own thing? And I came up with a picture
Well, that's
face
great
Lizzy.
because it's not just about TikTok.
No,
you
it's
know, like for my
yes.
5-year-old son, he doesn't know what TikTok is, but this is talking about wanting something that other kids have, that your kid desperately wants, and how to have that conversation with them. And I think that has made it more universal.
Thank you. I agree. And I was also really like, I love a challenge. And for me, the challenge of coming up with my own, fill in the blank for all of these things, for TikTok, Snapchat, iPhones, toys. It felt like the cooler way of doing it anyway. So the only thing that has backfired is I've gotten a lot of parents and children asking me when the real PictureFace Lizzy dolls are going to be released, which adds undue pressure and also goes against, quite frankly, the theme of the book. But we'll see. But it's been amazing to see people embrace it so quickly, and also it's just been really cool to get the kind of feedback that I was hoping for, which is parents and kids are using this book as a conversation starter.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted. I wanted a way for kids to embrace the subject without feeling like they were being preached to, and for parents to have fun reading a book to their kids. Those are my favorite kinds of books, and that's what I hope to achieve here. And
there's a lot in it, not just, like the part where Eve goes to a friend's house and she's a little nervous to go because it's a nicer house, and there's a lot about that this isn't just about like having social media. It's like sometimes families can't afford the thing that their kid wants most.
100%.
And that is
100%. And thank you for pointing that out. It was something that like I dealt with as a kid, where like I had friends with really, really fancy homes, and I lived with a single mother who had, was working as a real estate agent, 9 to 5, trying to pay for her 3 sons to go to school. And sometimes like it was hard to hear, no, we don't have money for that necessarily. And I was still privileged, but I didn't live, outside of our means. And I think that like that's familiar, that's relatable. And I want kids to sort of have this and know that it's all okay, right? So thank you for saying that.
Of course. No, I think it's a really great book. I'm so proud of you. Once again.
I'm so proud that you could read. Or did you do the audiobook? By the way,
the audiobook.
We have a brilliant audiobook.
Yeah.
That is narrated by my Frozen co-star, one Kristen Bell, who is unbelievable bringing this to life. Do you want to see what people have asked her?
Yeah, I'll try. Okay. As a vet tech, I need background information on Dee Dee. Dog, cat, breed. Is she in the book? Does she know Lizzy? Buying the book now.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, Dee Dee is a mutt that we rescued from a kill shelter when she was about 1 year old. She's one of the cutest. She looks like a baby sea lion. While Dee Dee's not in the book, there is a dog, a 3-legged dog named Buster. And he is awesome. And yeah, that's what I can tell you about Dee Dee.
If you had to pick a favorite theme park to visit anytime, where would it be?
1980s Epcot Center was my favorite place on earth.
Wow.
It had like the coolest, weirdest rides ever built. Rides like World of Motion and Horizons and Journey into Imagination. If I could like take a time portal and go back to like OG Epcot Center, I would.
Well, that's all the time we have for this wonderful book signing.
I love the little sound.
Yeah,
I came up here.
Everyone, please go to PictureFaceLizzyBook.com. Use FACE15 FACE15 at checkout for 15% off your purchase. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys so much. Please buy the book. I hope you love it as much as I loved writing it for you. And I promise to continue these conversations in the coming days and weeks because I want to hear from you guys. And I really, really want to hear how it personally may have affected you and your children or yourself. Maybe you're a grown adult who just wants to read.
No, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned how to read for this.
See, you too can become literate.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.